check if it is on public mode. Are we on public?
Yeah, definitely.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Daphne Iking YouTube channel. Happy Malaysia Day. Alright.
Okay.
That's fine. It's just repeating stuff. It's alright, we can dance to it. Woohoo! Alright. Public mode. Hello everyone. Okay.
Yeah, we can't listen to ourselves. Because
yeah, we can't listen to ourselves, otherwise we'll be lagging. There's a bit of lag. Anyway, happy Malaysia Day. We have to do it here in our office. Initially, we wanted to do it at a nicer spot. But then because... What's wrong with Wi-Fi again?
That's it, Wi-Fi, because it's wireless. This is where the problem is.
So that's why there was a bit of a lag. And I know on my...
it's still the best.
I have no idea what he just said, but yes, we according to our based on our Sky Garden Live, there was an initial video that we posted, and there was a bit of a staggering. So our tech genius over here has figured out how to sync our audio, because my audio was not syncing with the visuals. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Malaysia Day. We are going to talk about the history about it and what are some of the issues that still concern Malaysians, especially to the east side, y'all, the east side, with regards to Malaysia Day and moving forward, and plans how we should, what we need to do in order to be more united, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I mentioned, we wanted to choose a nicer location for our live, but because of our Wi-Fi and the whole shebang technical bits, I decided to post or to put up our Malaysia flag at the back. Not as cantik lah, but it's okay lah, boleh lah.
Well, it's still beautiful. There's still stripes, and there's a moon and a star.
Moon and the stars. Anyway, a lot of people...
honestly, Malaysia Day to me is more important than Merdeka.
Okay, first and foremost, I think there's some people who are still confused as to why we have Merdeka Day, which is our Independence Day, and there's also Malaysia Day. So we celebrate these 2 days, and they're very, very important. But it was only acknowledged just recently, Malaysia Day, back in 2009-2010.
Yeah, that's right. Because Merdeka is actually the independence of Tanah Melayu at that time.
That's right.
At that time, I mean, so I don't understand why Sabah and Sarawak would want to celebrate Merdeka. Because 1957, Sabah and Sarawak was a figment of Tanah Melayu's imagination, you know. They were not part of... Tanah Melayu. Now Tanah Melayu and Borneo are together, so they are called Malaysia.
That's
after
right.
1963.
And the word form
yeah,
is a better usage. Sabah and Sarawak formed Malaysia. They did not join Malaysia because Malaysia was not
that's right.
in existence
so there is,
yet.
In the truest sense of Malaysia, there is no Independence Day of Malaysia. Malaysia in Malaysia. There's no Independence Day on Malaysia. There is an Independence Day for Tanah Melayu, the Peninsula Malaysia. Peninsula Malaysia, Semenanjung Malaysia.
The Federation of Malaya, as it was known then.
So Malaysia in totality, there is no Independence Day. Today is a formation of all these states that's called Malaysia.
Including Singapore, by the way, for those of you who are not historically
sorry, I'm just being technical here, but I mean, in its truest form, I like to celebrate the unity. That's right, the unity of all the states are together. It's not a celebration of being independent of anybody. We, Sabah and Sarawak, Borneo, decided to join Tanah Melayu and call ourselves Malaysia. So there is no one releasing somebody from freedom of anything. It's just a unity. That's what I want to talk about today. So when we are united, we are Malaysians. We are no longer races actually of Melayu or Kadazan or Indian or Chinese or Iban. No, we are Malaysians first. So that's what's important to me lah. I think I always advocated that through my social media and through everybody.
I think, yeah.
But maybe you want to go back and talk about the formation of
I think you've pretty much summed it up with regards to why is Malaysia known as Malaysia now, and why Malaysia technically we should not be celebrating our Independence Day on the 31st August 1957, because Malaysia wasn't formed then. So I think we've already summarized that. There is still there is still a lot of confusion with regards to that, and again, a lot of people mistake Sabah and Sarawak joining Malaysia. So that is something that we need to address also. We formed
Well, I mean, that was potatoes, tomatoes. I mean, I do not know who joined who in any in a corporation, like for example, Esso and Mobil, whether it's a takeover or it's a joint venture, or I mean, that is not important. To me, it's a unity, like it's a United Nation actually. Actually, it's United States of Malaysia, you know.
Yeah. United
USM.
States.
USM.
Yes, like University of Science Malaysia.
That's right. So I mean, let's take other nation like United States of America.
What do you want, baby?
When in America they like to celebrate the 4th of July, but the 4th of July, their so Independence Day is there 13 states on the east side of British colonial. So they were, at that time, it wasn't the 50 states, it was only on the east side. So they also, in a way, they celebrate something which is not the 50 states that they are now. They celebrate how it started being independent, part of America being independent of colonies like the British. So I suppose Merdeka is the Tanah Melayu being independent of the British Empire. But for me, thank you, man. I mean, our forefathers, we fought, we got our independence. If Tanah Melayu did not get independent from the British colony, we wouldn't be able to meet up with Sabah and Sarawak and form Malaysia. You see, so yes, I'm not trying to diss what happened during 31st August 57. But what I'm trying to say,
that's very important too. That's very important too.
But what I'm saying is, moving forward, we are always talking about unity, boy.
Hold on, I don't know what he wants. He's throwing all these things, but
what do you sit here? You want to sit here with Papa?
Papa?
What is it? Tutu. You also want to talk?
Okay, talk then. Talk. What do you want to talk about? Yeah. What do you want to talk about? How do you feel as a Malaysian?
So, but moving forward, I think we should place more importance on the 16th of September, on the.
I'm taking him out.
On the especially on the celebratory part of it. I mean, we spend so much money on Merdeka and the things we do about it, but moving forward as a nation, Malaysia Day is more important. And I of all people personally, I'm very happy that Sabah and Sarawak is part of Tanah Melayu to form this Malaysia, or else I would never meet my wife Daphne. You know, I mean, if she was part of another nation, I don't know, I have to go take passport and go see her and all that. Actually, she now also must take passport. But
okay,
anyway.
that is something that. Okay, you continue what you have to finish first.
Well, I'm saying I'm so glad that Sabah and Sarawak is part of Tanah Melayu, where we can form Malaysia now. Or else I wouldn't have to meet you, wouldn't be able to see you.
Well,
you wouldn't be
maybe
working
it's still possible.
What, through Facebook?
Manatau, let's say Sabah was like
Definitely.
a country of its own.
Because it's so beautiful, I would definitely find you.
And I would still have to. I don't know. Actually, yeah.
Shit, man, there's so many comments. Oh.
Hey guys, happy Malaysia Day.
Daphne, give us tips to be slender. Okay, alright.
I do a lot of yoga. Go to Be Urban Wellness. I'm gonna start teaching there.
Anyway, okay, so what else should we talk about today, Mama?
Okay, addressing that issue, initially I wanted to talk about, I wanted to just say thank you to Nia Leah from Juice Online as well as The Star. Both of them have sent me some questions with regards to Malaysia Day this year. And both of them somewhat asked the same thing. They basically asked me, we all know that Sabah and Sarawak is part of Malaysia, but do you feel there's a disconnection between the West and East Malaysia? And I actually brought this topic up also to my Instagram followers, and there's been so many comments. So thank you so much for commenting. I don't know where my phone went. I don't know if you took it away. Anyway, it's over there. It's charging. Hold on. I will share with you some of the comments, but the gist of the comments that came in is there is still a disconnection between the East and the West Malaysians. Partially.
Well, let's break it down. When they say disconnection, what does it mean?
Well, some of them still, some meaning Peninsular Malaysia, still seem to think that Sabah and Sarawak are not part of Malaysia. That's for starters. So, for instance, there was one comment coming in saying the taxi driver picked her up, and then said, "Where were you from?" And then, "Oh, I'm from Sabah. I'm from Sabah." And it says like, "Oh, welcome to Malaysia." And she's like, "I'm Sabahan. Sabah is part of Malaysia. Hello." So things like that. And I thought, no lah, cannot be lah. After so long, takkan lah, people still don't know kan. But yeah, apparently it's still happening. So some of the comments.
Well, to me, the difference between ignorant and the true fact of it, whether Sabah and Sarawak is part of Malaysia, sometimes the disparity is really far. If you do not take the time to understand what Sabah and Sarawak, how Sabah Sarawak is part of Malaysia, then it's not my fault.
That's what I answered also in the Star, because it can work both ways. There are some Sabahans and Sarawakians who've never left their state, and they can't differentiate between Kelantanese food and Terengganu food.
Yeah.
You know.
But there are things that where Sabah and Sarawak make them different from us. For example, that passport thing that we still need to bring our passport, but now it's a lot easier with IC, but then it's just not as simple as IC. They will still give you the slip and all that.
And it's good that you actually brought this up today.
To find work, not so easy to find work in Sabah Sarawak if you're from Semenanjung.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you need a local permit there. Somebody has to sponsor you, and also political part. Sarawak has always, especially Sarawak, they've always had their own polls. Sabah is more, mixture. So things like that do make it feel that Sabah Sarawak or Semenanjung not part of Sabah Sarawak, or Sabah Sarawak not part of Semenanjung.
And I think that is some of the issues or concerns that have been brought up by my friends from Peninsular Malaysia, and that is why how timely that I actually read this article from Philip Golingai, who is a fellow Sabahan. He's also a writer for the Star. And he says here, some Malaysians still clueless over distinctions in the Malaysian Agreement 1963. So these issues, which I myself found it hard to explain to my Peninsula friends, has now been summarized in this article. And you must understand that Sabah and Sarawak, through the Malaysian Agreement, have control of who enters their states. What exactly is the Malaysian Agreement? It's basically Sabah's 20-point agreement and Sarawak's 18-point agreement, which was negotiated when the Federal of Malaya invited Sabah Sarawak, or Sabah was known as North Borneo then, Sarawak as well as Singapore, to come and form Malaysia. So those are some of the parts of the agreement, which includes actually control over immigration and, as you're mentioning about politics, in point 13, there should be a proper ministerial system in North Borneo. So that's why, like in Sabah, we've got Dato' Masidi Majnun, who is the Tourism, Culture and Environment Minister. Whereas here in Selangor, you have the Selangor Tourism, Environment, Green Technology and Consumer Affairs Exco. So that's why there are ministers in the Sabah cabinet and not executive councils like Selangor and other peninsular states. So I think that sort of explains why. It's just an agreement that has been agreed upon during the negotiation of Sabah, North Borneo, Sarawak and Singapore forming Malaysia back then in 1963. So does this actually cause more of a disparity, as you mentioned? Perhaps, because there is some frustration, I suppose, but that's just the agreement. And I think it's an ongoing debate or discussion that is taking place between our political parties and why the state political heads or leaders are sometimes, they still have that little, hey, federal government, remember our agreement? That's in Sabah. I can't speak for Sarawak, but yeah. So it's interesting that you actually brought that up.
But having said that, the disparity or the difference that we have between Sabah, Sarawak and Semenanjung is something that we should celebrate about, which is what I love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I love my wife. That's why I fell in love with her. because she's so different from me. She brings out part of me that I never knew existed, you see. So that comes with the culture differences between Sabah and Sarawak and Semenanjung. That shit, man, if I want an escape from KL, I just need to fly 2.5 hours. Oh man, it feels like another country.
Aww.
In a good way, you know. I don't need to change my currency.
Yeah, some people
It's
think that
still part of Malaysia, you know.
sudah tukar itu wang kah? I'm like,
So
sama saja ba?
yeah, I love it there. And what I love really about Sabah and Sarawak, especially Sabah lah, is the how diorang tidak sibuk lah, you know. They don't care about you. You just go there, do whatever you want. And unlike here, you know, here so they care so much about what you eat, halal ke tak halal ke.
I'm gonna be a little bit. I'm gonna
and
go.
What you wear.
Brought something a little bit sensitive here. Again, it's all upbringing, but I noticed that B, you would ask our kids. So like when Belle says, "Oh, I met a new friend. What race is she?" Like race was very important. Whereas here in Sabah, macam like you were mentioning about you looking at our classroom picture and like, what bangsa is this person? What bangsa is this person? I'm like, I really don't know. All I know is maybe she's non-Muslim because she joined us during Pendidikan Moral, and Pendidikan Agama was the only time that we were segregated. And I don't know if that was an important thing or
no, because
what?
Growing up, even from our parents, when we say I'm going to bring back a friend, they say apa, Chinese ke, Malay ke. It's not being racist. It's just normal curiosity, you know. Probably from a parent's standpoint, so then they know how to react to the friend that we're bringing back or who we are seeing.
Maybe,
I do not know why. That is so important, but I think that is just the upbringing back then.
And maybe it's also a kind of way of saying, you know, in the event that she is, let's say you're a non-Muslim family and you're bringing a Muslim family, then you want to be
got dog in the house,
got
but then put dog in the cage, or make sure the food is
you know,
things
don't
like that.
serve pork or you know, alcohol or anything that is offensive to our Muslim friends.
Yeah.
But having said that, also in Keke di Sabah, at least while growing up, again I don't know if it's pure oblivion and us being ignorant in that sense, but macam kami tidak itu tidak penting ba.
That's right.
Ataupun we sort of
when I go to open house
saja.
in Sabah, I see dogs and pigs in the courtyard. So
kampung saya.
I'm like, over here you'll be like, oh shit man, that's a no. You will never
When you
go.
first came to my kampung, how did you feel honestly? When you saw like punya banyak anjing, terus ada tu babi wogok ngongkok, you
Yeah,
like, what
I was
the fuck?
surprised. I was surprised. Not that I was like dirty or what. I mean, honestly, I have nothing against the pig or the dog, but because of our upbringing, sometimes that invisible installation of fear in your body, it's really embedded in me. Like you cannot eat, you cannot eat duck. You cannot eat.
I just don't like it. Kambing.
Kambing, you know, it's just a fear that's inherent. So, but then shit, man, I'm already 40 years old. Come on, man, it's just another animal. It's God's creation. Why should we be afraid of it? It's created for a purpose.
Yep.
So, but if you think it's dirty or unhygiene, just clean lah. What's the problem? Don't be afraid of it as though it's the devil, man. You should be afraid of the devil, not the pig, man. So. But then it's a mindset that I changed in the end, which is awesome. You know, at the end of the day, everything is God's creation. Even Satan is God's creation. He's there
for a reason.
Yeah,
he's there for a reason.
So we shouldn't. The only person that we should be fear is our Creator. It's God. That's it. Why you want to fear a bloody pig, man? You know.
Alright, Anderson Kalang, hi. He's a friend of ours. Just in time for his session here. Baru lepas persembahan for Malaysia Day tadi sana church. Best wishes to you. Happy Malaysia Day, Anderson. Anderson is a Sarawakian photographer. He also plays the sape,
Awesome.
traditional. That was great.
That day, bro.
That was awesome. We were performing recently during the Borneo Fest. And speaking of which, we had the Borneo Fest taking place in Surah Kelsisi in conjunction with Malaysia Day. And one of the reporters asked me, should we have more of these? And I'm like, you know, it's strange because, I mean, I'm glad, I'm very grateful that we have a platform for us to showcase our products and our culture, customs and traditions in a very urban setting. And a huge exposure for us too. But then macam kalau Malaysia Day kan, kenapa kau kasih tunjuk sejak Sabah Sarawak punya barang? Patut semua ba? I guess it'd be too crazy lah. So those are some of the things that macam kau kasih divide juga kami. But at the same time, I'm grateful. So don't get me wrong.
This is where the misnomer
What's no
happens.
data? What did I do? Oh, it's bad. Okay, streaming status is quite bad. Hopefully you guys can still hear us. In the meantime, there you go. Anyone else?
This is where the problem lies in, is because the 16th September is always remembered as Sabah and Sarawak joining Malaysia.
Forming.
It's wrong.
Malaysia.
It's not joining Malaysia, it's joining Tanah Melayu to form Malaysia.
Yes.
Okay. So when we have to get rid of this notion, when they think of Malaysia Day, it's about Sabah and Sarawak. No, it's not. It's about the formation of Malaysia, which is the Tanah Melayu states and Sabah and Sarawak, including Labuan, of course, to form Malaysia. So you are right to say why. Well, actually, that day was called Borneo Fest. It wasn't called a Malaysia Day Fest.
That's true, but it was in conjunction with Malaysia Day.
But I understand where you're coming from.
Yep.
Malaysia Day, whenever there is a festivity on the 16th of September, it's always about emphasizing the cultures of Sabah and Sarawak, but which is not. It should be all the 13 states.
Or maybe because, it's always Ali, Achong and Mutu who's always being, banyak already pasal dorang, jadi kasih can lah bahasa-bahasa Sarawak. Give too little also score, give too much also score. So we're just humans, right?
So don't give too much, don't give too little. Just give everyone an equal share. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, everything in moderation, which is something that we Malaysians should be striving for. One thing that I am noticing of late is all these NGOs who seem to be inciting hatred and trying to make us, I really still don't understand. I honestly, when we Sabahans, and I know a few Sarawakan friends of mine also, we sometimes roll our eyes to the back wherever we can, when we hear all this like craziness that's taking place over here, when a certain religious groups feels that a particular word belongs to them and not to another religious group. Whereas in Sabah and Sarawak, we've been using the word Allah for the longest time in our publications and in church, or like when they see a cross and they, oh my God. But in Sabah, my Muslim friends at least, they don't really have any concerns. They're like, apa-apa sajalah, sama saja tu. We're not offended at all. So those are some of the things that probably differentiate us, or how our sentiments are when it comes to this. Again, it could be just something that is highly politicized and media has sort of sensationalized. Thank you very much. Do you have any more?
But I think that those topics that you just mentioned is already
sort of like
thoroughly discussed. But what I'm trying to say is, moving forward, I think to celebrate Malaysia Day, I think we should get it in forms of race and religion. I think I've spoken this so many times. I think what's more important is to be called Malaysian born Chinese, Malaysian born Kadazan, Malaysian born Malay. So that is more important to me in the forms, or you want to say yourself, you just say, what are you? We are Malaysian, that's it. But I mean, maybe to people outside, even though when we greet orally, we don't say I'm Chinese, we don't say I'm Malay, I'm just say I'm Malaysian born.
I wonder how it is in Indonesia. Like that means even in our children's birth cert, it shouldn't be like, for instance, our kids either are Sino Kadazan or Malay
no. Actually, so not important. It's not important. It's not important in the forms. Why is it important in the forms? You see, this is where the disparity is. It is put there because.
But at the same time, I am proud of my identity.
Yeah,
I am very proud of my being Dusun.
Yeah, but it shouldn't. But I don't think it should be official. I don't think it should be made official document wise. If you want to say you're Kadazan among your community, you can say. It's just understood. But why are we streaming? Why not streaming? The word's not streaming. Why are we segregating ourselves document wise? And especially now, there's so many mixed marriages. It's just so difficult,
You'll be ticking everything, all the boxes: Malay, Chinese, Indian, dan lain-lain.
That's right. So that is not important anymore. I know I have some Chinese blood according to my dad. Fourth, fifth time removed. So what? How's it important now? Moving forward now. Back then maybe, yeah, okay, we were still trying to identify ourselves. But I mean, okay, you're going back to Indonesia. Indonesia, there is no disparity because it's just one language. All right, and religion
But surely
wise,
they've got Chinese. They speak.
they
Chinese
they have in their blood, but it's not written in the forms.
Right,
Okay,
because
they're
I
just
don't know.
Indonesia.
Do we
Because they all
have
speak
any
one language.
Indonesian followers here? Please do comment and let us know. Or what do you write on your birth cert? Do you have race and religion? We really want to know. I know friends from Brunei. I know one or two are also from Brunei. Please let us know.
Yeah.
This topic we can be discussing till the pigs come home. Is that even correct?
Because it's not halal.
Tak haram nanti haram. But we wanted to keep this short and sweet. Moving on, what can we do in order for us to unify us Malaysians even more? I think one thing is to completely ignore campaigns that incite hate and also to tear us apart. We can have our political differences, we can have our different beliefs, but I think at the end of the day, we must strongly appreciate the fact that we're all Malaysians and we're very, very blessed to be living in this beautiful country, Malaysia.
Yep. I think it should start from political parties. There shouldn't be UMNO, there shouldn't be MCA or MIC or Pakatan or DAP or PKR. They should remove the word Malay, Chinese, Indian or even Kadazan, Dusun or whatever in the race, in the name of the party, and allow anybody to join that party based on the right political beliefs moving forward.
Yeah, if you believe in Barisan Nasional's manifestos, go ahead.
Yeah.
If you believe in PBS, go ahead. But it doesn't mean that you have to be Malay to join UMNO, for instance. Oh wait, Barisan Nasional is.
This is where you have the Democrats and Republicans. That's why I agree. You know, you can join any party based on political views, not based on race views.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we can start with that, that'd be good. Moving forward, we have to move forward, Malaysia.
That's right.
Okay, if you want unity, you have to be united. In that way, get rid of terminology in official documents. Get rid of terminology in political views, you know?
Yeah.
That's just my...
And please, if you do have any more feedback or comments, because this is, of course, supposedly an interactive platform, but at the end of the day, it's us just talking. We would love other subscribers or anyone else who tunes in later on to get comments and ideas from you guys, because at the end of the day, this channel is for you guys. It can't be just us. Shops today. Okay, sometimes it is. Anything interesting from there? Hello everyone. We've got so many wonderful comments during our live chat, and we acknowledge each and every one of you. There's a bit of a lag. We're so sorry. It's because of maybe the broadcast ban. It's something to do with the internet. But yes, most of you are saying Samahari Malaysia indeed, and let's move forward. Let's be united. Let's be grateful that we're living in Malaysia, which is somewhat safer than our counterparts. We have no wars, no one is running away or fleeing away, so we're very blessed in that sense. We may have our political annoyance and grievances, but at the end of the day, please make sure you go out and vote, okay? I'm sorry, this is another topic altogether. And just appreciate one
Let's just
another.
check out what Google...
Yeah.
I look at Google at what they have done. It's quite cool, man.
Thank
Look
you,
at that.
Google, Malaysia.
so nice.
That's so cute. Acknowledging Malaysia Day. Isn't
Yeah.
that so cute?
So beautiful.
All right, so we are back, and this has basically been our Malaysia Day 30-minute segment live on our YouTube channel. So far, we've been doing about 3 live shows, trying to improve ourselves along the way. And the first time that my husband has appeared on camera for live.
Okay.
So happy Malaysia Day, people, and let's
keep
stay
Malaysianing.
united. Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.